Let's continue the story. So Captain Birdgiz had a height, 1.85, weight 92 kilograms, brown eyes and brown hair. Enrico liked his team, especially Ivan. He had a style to shoot after the enemy. He said it was a sign of courtesy. They've been a team for half a year, strangely, but during this time, nothing serious has even happened. No attacks, no conflicts, threats, just training and easy missions. But on April 2nd, 2930, the first and important operation called Saving Naples finally began, because it all started in Naples. The captain explained what the mission was. The first team had to find an abandoned factory where biological weapons were located. UBR, or uranium ballistic missiles. The task was not so easy because the local baron was in charge of the whole business. There were only 135 individuals in the factory. 35 of them were terrorists, 100 others were hostages. And the essence is that the terrorists asked the mayor of the city to pay a ransom for them. Otherwise, he would kill them. And the same task was given by the mayor of Naples himself. Therefore, civil security immediately went there. Everything was carried out very neatly and smoothly. The team made discreet murders and then they got to the Baron himself. But suddenly, something unpredictable happened. The Baron was helped by unknown people in white suits with round symbols on their shoulders, and some even on their backs. The operation was completed by 50% because the Baron was able to escape, and whoever else helped him. Enrico suspected who it might be, the very people who blew up part of his team when he served in Night, because no one was able to come to their rescue in time and spoil the plans. And after that, really dangerous operations appeared in the teams. The next operation was called Penetration into the Dungeon, because the enemies and the Baron himself were in the abandoned metro station in the city of Milan. The task was difficult to capture the Baron and find out who those same unknown people in whites are. But again, failure. The team was surrounded and then the conversation began with the Baron and our heroes. Well, what do I see here? So this is Civil Security Spec Ops. You must have been looking for me, huh? Said the Baron. Damn it, we're trapped. Enrico, your ideas? Ivan said quietly. Listen, Baron, we can solve everything peacefully. What do you say? Let's make a deal, Enrico said. You, Warkvez? I didn't think that such a puppy would want to surprise me with something. Well, what can you offer to someone like me? Kid, what are you doing? You're screwing it up now, Mike added. But a man in white coat joined the conversation. Amzel, I didn't let you talk to these newbies. Sorry for my rudeness. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sheldon Fox, and you? It doesn't matter. The important thing is that you died now, and we will continue to develop the AR. AR? What is it? Guys, did anyone hear what this is? Kevin said. I have no idea. Fox, we can be allies. CS is a young organization compared to Rays, and we just need support, said Mike. Again, the same situation, added Nixie. I'm against it. Everything is progressing well with us, and everything will be fine without you, added Enrico. Then he whispered to Mike, you only spoil everything, old one. Pathetic insects like you should have been destroyed long ago, and I did not even think that you would sink so low. And at that moment, Enrico and together with Ivan threw two enemies over the thigh and took their weapons from them. The other team members also did it themselves, but Enrico and Ivan already helped them. A major firefight began. The team wounded and needed help, but since it was a covert operation, they had no way to call for help. As a result, the team was only able to injure Baron and kill more than 20 terrorists and 5 people in white. The enemies fled and the team thought that they would have to look for them again, but before leaving the metro, they found that the man in white alive, and they did not hesitate and took him prisoner. The next day, the captain interrogated that same prisoner, and this is how it all happened. Well, and who are you? The captain was holding a pistol in his hand, and he frightened him with it. If you don't tell me, I'll make a hole in your head, got it? Answer my question. Who are you, and what kind of organization do you have? Derek. Just, the name's Derek. I don't have a last name. That's why my name is that. The prisoner answered. Well, what else do you know? Added Ivan. The captain gave Ivan a pistol and told him to use his method of obtaining information. Ivan pressed the pistol to the prisoner's forehead he could not do anything because he was handcuffed, of course. Can I pull the trigger? What do you say to that? I don't know what kind of organization it is and what name it has, said the excited prisoner. Derek, you know what will happen if I pull the trigger? One click and you'll see the darkness before your eyes. So, do you want to die? Said Ivan, who was loading a pistol. Derek was trembling all over and was in sweat. His eyes were moving in different directions, and Ivan deliberately was in no hurry to further strain the enemy. Your last chance. Who are these people? The pistol made a sound, like a beeping sound, which means that the pistol was about to fire. But at that moment, Okay, I'll tell you everything, just don't kill me, please. The prisoner pissed into his pants in fear. Good boy. Who are these people you work with? The captain added. CN is an organization that's trying to create the highest technologies and also gain control over power and have absolute strength over their opponents. I recently joined there purely by chance. In general, I should have been dead in the war a long time ago. It was me who became a soldier of this organization, and then... my head is spinning. Do you have water? I don't feel so good. Derek started vomiting. 1,000 devils, a person is bad, called Walker here, said Enrico. Derek twitched and blood poured from his mouth. The team and the captain did not know what to do. I'm here. Holy cabbage, what's with this guy? Kevin said. He feels bad. Do you have something to make it go? Added Nixie. Enrico and Ivan kept the tribal, but still trembled as a result. He tore into Enrico's arms and on Ivan's bulletproof vest. The doctor tried to inject the poor man with sedatives, but he did not react, and after a few seconds, he died. No one understood what happened to the captured CN soldier, but Kevin believed it had something to do with the virus. On April 15th, another attack on the city of Milan. CSSO immediately drove to the scene, and before their eyes there was a terrible picture. The building where the mayor was destroyed, and the streets were craters from missiles. The streets were destroyed, enemy infantry was walking everywhere. Moreover, the team saw that not far from them was the Cuira's ballistic missile system, the most dangerous compact weapon of all. There were several soldiers in white suits, and the same Sheldon Fox almost killed them. The heroes began to attack them. The mess was concrete. Nixie was injured. Kevin was so badly injured as a result of this, so he died. Mike and Ivan were fine, but Enrico, while everyone was distracted by them, discreetly crept to the place where their enemies were staying. He found Baron and Fox there, but things didn't look as they should. Fox shot Baron because Baron wanted half of his resources and credits. Enrico now knew that their main enemy was CN, and that the enemies were talking about UBR. But not as small as they were in the factory, but 3 large rockets as high as a 10-story building. Then Enrico came out of cover, took the machine gun and aimed it at Sheldon Fox, and then when the enemy saw him, he said, "Don't move, Fox. Now we know about your plans. Give up." And then Enrico's friends came to his aid. "Oh, I'm so scared." "Idiot, you don't even understand what you're dealing with. But I'll tell you. You may ask, why do we need these missiles? It's simple. We want to get rid of our and partially your enemies. China. Yes, they're the ones who want to launch nuclear bombs on you, but we kicked them out. You ask how?" Sheldon said. Enrico noticed how worried Ivan was. "That's right, the time machine. That's what helped us, and yes, consider that we are saving your useless asses. And now," but Enrico interrupted him, "You moron, you won't solve anything by war. You'll only speed up the process of destroying the world. Everything needs to be resolved peacefully, not as you plan it. You need to understand. I, Sheldon Fox, have to obey some puppy. Kill him." And then his soldiers came to the aid of the enemy. The battle was successful, but Fox escaped and no one knows whether he launched the missiles or not. Captain Birdgiz ordered to return to the base. He said that he had a plan and that this was no longer their war. But our hero did not think so. He went against the rules. He told the team that he could handle it himself, but Ivan grabbed his hand before he left. "What are you doing? Do you want to kill yourself? This is a very dangerous operation. The whole of Italy already knows about it." But Enrico pushed him away and said only one thing. "We have our freedom, our choices, our life. This is not the words of the civil security anthem, huh, Cypher? Who if not me What if I don't go and sacrifice myself for the whole world? Even if you help me, you'll die. I don't want to sacrifice my team, my friends. I don't want to lose you. You're all that I have. A tear was wiped out from him. Your team? Listen, kid, I'm the leader here. You're only an assistant and I decide what to do. We are leaving. And you're not even a pawn. We're all here because we are ordinary mercenaries. We're not heroes. We have no past and we have no history. We live in the present day and we are fighting terrorism, not because people demand it, but because we demand it. We demand peace. Enough. You already specifically spoiled everything. Mike wanted to hit him, but Ivan held Mike's fist. Don't you dare do that. We are Silver Security. We're a family. We will not injure or kill our own people, Ivan said. Well, then fuck him, said Mike, and then lit a cigar. Sorry, I have to go, said Enrico. You just can't go and stop him. He has what you don't have. Nuclear weapons. He will blackmail you, added Nixie. But the hero just said, I'm not gonna give up. I'll see you guys later. And Enrico ran after Fox. Meanwhile, Fox was already at the shelter where the nuclear missiles were. Well, how can we do without our young soldier? Enrico found refuge in everyone who was in white CN suits were killed with a machine gun. And literally a few minutes later he was caught near Fox's chair, and they started a conversation. And I underestimated you, Arquez. Did not even imagine that you're capable of such unusual actions. I appreciate that. Fox punched the hero in the face and he was still being held by two soldiers. Do you still think you can change this fucking world? Look at yourself. You've already lost. No, you're wrong. I haven't lost yet. Enrico hit the soldier who was holding him with his head, and he simply knocked out the second one with the handle of his machine gun. This world can still be saved. You just need to decide everything not by force, but by your soul. To love each other, and I believe in it. Fucking hippie. If you really think so, then I am the winner in these 5 minutes. If you don't do it, or if you're late, the rockets will take off and wipe this world off the face of the earth. All of you, don't bother us. And all the soldiers left. Well, we'll show that you can, Enrico, Sheldon Fox said. Alright. Enrico pulled out his sword. Let's dance. Then the battle began between the young men, soldier and the leader of the evil organization. The battle was of course not very long, but it was very bloody. There was a minute left before the launch of nuclear missiles. You've lost, Warquez. You're already covered in blood, and you pleasantly surprised me, so you have a choice. You can become the new leader of our organization. What do you say? Liar, I see this sly look. I remember it when I was still a small child, therefore no. You can't hide from CN. They'll find you, and they'll kill you. Ugh. Fox had spent all of his power, and that's why he's screaming. And at that moment, Enrico first said an epic phrase. Well, you can't stop me. And then Enrico thrust his sword into the enemy's chest. There were only 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And then our hero canceled the missile launch. There were only 2 seconds left for the launch. Enrico's face was covered in sweat and his hands trembled with fear. The hero pulled out his sword from his enemy, and Fox was no longer breathing. Everything was over. CN retreated and eventually disappeared. Enrico, along with his crew, was rescued by civil security troops who flew in by spacecraft. The city center was in ruins at the hands of CN. Many people were left without a home. Many died, many lost their loved ones. Finally, after all this chaos, peace came. April 19, 2930 in Naples, that is, in the hometown of Enrico, an event was held in honor of the impossible victory, which Enrico won over his enemies. A young soldier sat next to his friends who helped him all this time. All this happened near the city hall, but how can we do without losses and fuss? People made a minute of silence in honor of the fallen heroes in the battlefield. One of them was Kevin Walker. And after that, the heroes were awarded the Civil Security Spec Ops Gold Medals, which were engraved for courage, for bravery, for victory. But our main character was awarded a medal with an engraving, Titan Enrico, and no one expected Enrico to say, because he was very young, When I was a child, I dreamed of being a soldier, a hero, a freelancer. Now I have surpassed my capabilities. I felt my significance, my meaning in life, serving CS to keep the world safe together with my friends who have been with me all this time. And I respect them. But nevertheless, we are not heroes. We're just mercenaries. We have no past, no future. We just live in the present. We are fighting not because people ask us to, but because people need us. And it is we who will fight against evil in order to return the world to its former harmony. So that people have their own ideas, their own freedom, their own history, their decisions. This place, our home and our homeland, this Silver Security Spec Ops. People applauded, shouted his name. Enrico! 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 After that, the heroes saluted, and Enrico had a small man's tear. After all this, Ivan and Enrico began a conversation. Hey, wait, look, you were right. We were able to prove that you're a real leader, and that you're a legendary hero, Ivan said. I'm not a hero, Ivan. I'm just an ordinary mercenary who just has a dream to give this world its true harmony. I dreamed of being a soldier, and now they proudly recognize me as one on the streets. Again, your philosophy. Come on, rest with us. Today's a great day. This is your day. Ivan put his hand on his shoulder, but Enrico took his hand from his shoulder and said in response, Not today, partner. Not today. He smiled, hugged him, and went back to his homeland, Naples. And when Enrico left, Ivan turned on the radio and contacted unknown with whom. He only said, CN, this is Cypher, W, will soon be with us. The end of the first part of the Plazma Burst, beginning story.